Over the past several weeks, we have seen a public display of outrage. We have not seen this in recent history.
This historical moment demands that we not only say that Black Lives Matter, but that we show it.
Democrats and Republicans overwhelmingly passed a hate crimes bill in both houses of the General Assembly.
ADL has been actively leading efforts on hate crimes legislative advocacy in Georgia for decades, especially through ADL's leadership of the Hate Free Georgia Coalition, which played an important role in securing the law's passage.
All kinds of organizations, whether Asian or not, need to know the extent of the hate crimes that are occurring.
You can see that racism has been rising in different parts of society, and anti-Semitism has been rising in different parts of society.
And that's why Jonathan and I are in partner with Color Change and many other organizations to say we must stop hate for profit.
The goal is not to bankrupt Facebook. The goal is to create a conversation about the fact that they need to stop the flow of disinformation heading into this election.
And it doesn't matter whether we're black or white, whether we are Democrats or Republicans or independents, we are one people. And we must respect the dignity and the worth of every human being. That's our calling. That's our mission.
Some powerful words from the great Congressman John Lewis, whom we posthumously honored with our Lifetime Achievement Award at last year's jurisprudence event. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Allison Padilla-Goodman, and I am the Vice President of ADL's Southern Division, and Ramadan Mubarak to those who observe. On behalf of the ADL team, board, and our Jurisprudence Committee, we are thrilled to welcome you today to the 2021 Virtual Jurisprudence Luncheon. Now in its 24th year, this annual event honors individuals in the legal profession who are creating a legacy of extraordinary service to the community. We will start with a presentation of the awards, followed by a moderated discussion with the honorees. ADL is a historic anti-hate organization that fights anti-Semitism and all forms of discrimination and bigotry. A global leader in exposing extremism, delivering anti-bias education, and fighting hate online, ADL's ultimate vision is a world in which no group or individual suffers from bias, discrimination, or intolerance. The pandemic this past year caused serious challenges and severe loss for so many people and organizations. Meanwhile, racism and hatred continued without interruption and in some ways increased in intensity. The video you just saw was just a glimpse of the incredible work done by ADL to continue fighting hatred on every front. Most notably last summer, through the Hate Free Georgia Coalition led by ADL, both chambers of Georgia's legislature, with strong bipartisan support, passed hate crimes legislation, which was then signed into law. This is a great first step showcasing that Georgia takes discrimination against marginalized communities seriously, and recently we have seen how important hate crimes legislation is in the impact of prioritizing people's identities. The work for passing comprehensive hate crimes legislation to protect people is not over, and ADL is committed to passing hate crimes legislation in the other 4 states, including South Carolina, that don't currently have a bill in place. To learn more about ADL Southeast impact, please visit atlanta.adl.org. Before we get started, I'd like to thank those who worked tirelessly to make this event possible. Thank you to everyone on the event host committee who worked to plan this event, support it financially, and secure sponsorships. And I'd like to especially thank event co-chairs Robin Sankston and Eric Barnum for their leadership and hard work in making this year's event one of the most successful fundraising luncheons yet in the 24-year history of this event. Finally, we also thank the many individuals and organizations who generously sponsored this event, particularly Alston and Bird for hosting our pre-event virtual reception, and all of our guardian, advocate, protector, ally, chair circle, and supporter sponsors. While we were lucky to welcome many new names to our sponsorship family this year, we are also grateful to those who have consistently and unfailingly supported this event and ADL's work. Additionally, I'd like to take a moment to remember our previous Jurisprudence Award honorees who have since passed. May their memory be a blessing. I'd also like to recognize some special guests we have viewing the program today. Welcome to Judge Alan Baverman, Federal Magistrate Judge, Judge J.P. Boulay, Federal District Court Judge, Judge Steve Grimberg, Federal District Court Judge, Judge Dax Lopez, State Court, DeKalb County, Judge Paige Reese Whitaker, Fulton Superior Court, Judge David Namias, Presiding Justice, Georgia Supreme Court, Judge Jack Goger, Fulton County Superior Court Senior Judge, Kurt Erskine, Acting U.S. Attorney for Northern District, Georgia, Carlise Greer, Executive Director, Chief Justice's Commission on Professionalism, Zara Karenschak, former State Senator, Sherry Boston, District Attorney for DeKalb County, Donna Stribling Coleman, Solicitor for DeKalb County, Bill Travis, Executive Director, Georgia Association Criminal Defense Lawyers, Andrea Young, Executive Director of ACLU of Georgia, Paige Alexander, CEO of the Carter Center, and so many of our ADL Southeast Regional Board members. We're so glad you could join us for today's program. ADL has long had a close connection to the legal community due to the shared pursuit of justice and the fact that lawyers get involved in the community. They make a difference. That is why we're here today. To say I'm so inspired by the work of our honorees is an understatement. They're going to be properly introduced shortly, but I can tell you it's great to see these amazing individuals being honored because of their selfless acts, dedication to their community, and their inspiring leadership in the legal profession. Now, on what I'm told is International Be Kind to Lawyers Day, let's celebrate the good work of Justice Leah Ward Sears, Walter Jospin, Ana María Martinez, and Scott Zweigel, lawyer leaders who make a difference. And finally, if you're inspired by what you hear today, please consider making a personal gift to support and invest in ADL's mission. You can scan the QR code below or visit adl.org/donate. Please welcome event co-chair Eric Barnum.
Good afternoon. My name is Eric Barnum, a partner with Baker Hostetler here in Atlanta. I am also co-chair of the 2021 Jurisprudence Committee. ADL's Emerging Leader Award, previously known as the Young Lawyer Award, recognizes those in the legal profession who have not only excelled in their legal pursuits, but also attained remarkable achievements in the domains for which they have a strong passion. One of this year's Emerging Leader honorees is Ana María Martinez, staff attorney for the Honorable Dax E. Lopez in the State Court of DeKalb County and co-founder of the Georgia Latino Law Foundation, an organization dedicated to increasing diversity in the legal profession by supporting the Latino legal community pipeline. The organization also increases the Latino community's access to the legal system by educating and empowering Latinos to join the legal profession. As president of the GLLF, she oversees the organization's Latino Law Students Law Day, Leadership Academy, and Mentoring Program and Fellowship Program. In 2020, under her leadership, the GLLF launched a successful virtual judicial internship program, which provided substantive law experience to 29 law students who had lost their summer internships as a result of the pandemic. In 2012, Ana María received the Award of Achievement for Outstanding Service to the Public from the Young Lawyers Division of the State Bar of Georgia for her work in the inaugural Legal Food Frenzy. Ana María served as the only Latina on the State Bar of Georgia Board of Governors from 2018 to 2020. She currently serves on the DeKalb Bar Association Board. In addition, she is currently a barrister in the Bleckley Inn of Court and a master in the Emory Inn of Court, where she is the current president-elect. Ana María is a graduate of Lead Atlanta and has been selected as a member of the 40 Under 40 class by the Atlanta Business Chronicle, Georgia State University, and Georgia Trend magazine. The last 3 years, the Georgia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce has recognized Ana Maria as one of Georgia's 50 most influential Hispanics. She is currently a member of the Leadership Georgia class of 2020-2021. Her close friend and mentor, Jessica Wood, describes Ana Maria as a true role model and one of the most methodical and organized people she has ever encountered. She dreams the dream and then breaks it down into manageable and measurable components, enlists the aid of others, and then, before you know it, her dream becomes reality for the betterment of all. We are proud to honor Ana Maria Martinez with the Emerging Leader Award. Congratulations, Ana Maria.
I am very grateful to the ADL for this recognition. It is amazing to me to have received this amazing piece to display in my desk and to remind me every day that what I do is not just for me, but for the betterment of our community. I came to the United States when I was 12 years old, and I faced a lot of issues. I didn't speak English. I didn't understand how things worked. And I was very lucky to have figured things out along the way. But the reason that I have begun the work that I do is to help others not go through the same situations, is to understand that there's a place for them. And it is to recognize that they bring incredible value to this world. They say that awards are a pat in the back. And this certainly is one that is pushing me forward to do things better in the future. The Georgia Latino Law Foundation was born out of the idea that we can all do better, that we can all support each other and reach back and pull each other forward. And that's exactly what this award means to me. It's a great way to feel like the work that I'm doing is having an impact. Is an impact that is really changing the legal community in Georgia. We are incredibly blessed to have incredible support. We have wonderful law students that are accomplishing great things. And every year we see them get the jobs that they want and make a difference in their community in their own particular way. We don't have any one way in which they are supposed to serve back. We just want them to spark joy, to find the joy in their lives and do what brings growth and joy and excitement to them, because that's how we feel they're going to make the community better. We are incredibly grateful for the support we've received from the community, from the law firms and the corporate legal departments. They have been unbelievable, helping us push our efforts forward. We're incredibly grateful to the judiciary, who has supported our virtual judicial internship program. And it is thanks to this whole community that the Georgia Latino Law Foundation has accomplished what it has done in the past 6 years. I don't think that this award is necessarily just to me. I really see this as an award for the Georgia Latino Law Foundation. And on behalf of everyone on our team, I am so grateful to the ADL.
Hello. I am thrilled to present our second Emerging Leader Award to Scott Zweigel. Scott is a successful business litigation partner at Parker Hudson, and you can read about his many professional accomplishments and civic contributions in his bio in the event program on the website. Today, however, Scott is being recognized for his significant and impactful contributions towards securing hate crimes legislation in those last remaining states where none has existed. Scott has been a member of the ADL Southeast Region Board since 2017. He has also been the co-chair of the Civil Rights Committee of the board since 2019. But perhaps most importantly, Scott has been an active participant on the Hate Crimes Subcommittee since 2018, where he has shown tremendous and steadfast leadership around passing hate crimes legislation in Georgia and South Carolina in particular. He has worked tirelessly and closely with ADL staff on leading the coalition to secure passage of a Georgia hate crimes bill, meeting with legislators and making tough decisions that helped the bill reach its long-awaited and successful passage last year. During the final push to get the bill through the Georgia legislature, Scott organized and led an ADL Speaking Out in the South webinar on the proposed bill. His successful efforts to secure respected and influential speakers, such as Governor Roy Barnes, Representative Chuck Efstration, political reporter Jim Galloway, and Representative Karen Bennett to explain the bill, no doubt helped to garner support for its passage. But following the passage of the landmark Georgia law, Scott didn't rest on his laurels. He quickly picked up the mantle to support a South Carolina hate crimes law. Scott represented ADL by providing testimony to the South Carolina Hate Crimes Study Committee in 2020 in support of the introduction of the state hate crime statute. This committee's work was a critically important first step in the objective to introduce a strong and comprehensive hate crimes law in 2021 that is currently working, or should I say, fighting its way through the legislature. By all accounts, Scott's testimony was professional and powerful and has been cited many times in the bill's current journey through the legislative process. South Carolina is one of the last remaining states without a hate crime statute, and with Scott's focused dedication and support, he and ADL will lead the way to bring about this long-awaited and critical change. On a lighter note, when Scott isn't fighting to stop hate, he enjoys Fish, the psychedelic band, not the food, is a rabid UGA football fan, and apparently has an enviable bourbon collection. We all wish we could raise a glass of bourbon to toast your well-deserved recognition, Scott, but that will have to wait until we can all be together in person, hopefully later this year. Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you, Robin. Your words are truly too kind. I am humbled and honored to receive this award from an organization that means so much to me, and that's key organizational principle is fighting hate for good. I want to take a quick minute to thank a few people and then speak about why hate crimes laws are so important, and why I'm happy to just put a little effort into the many people who have put effort in before me to get hate crimes laws passed in the United States. But first, I want to thank a few people. I want to thank my beautiful wife and kids for putting up with my frenetic schedule and allowing me to take time to help organizations like ADL that I deeply care about. Second, I want to thank my coworkers at Parker-Hudson, my friends, my family, and the amazing legal community we have here in Atlanta for supporting me. It's truly inspiring to be supported by such a great legal community that has so many others who are working to make a positive difference in the world. Third, I want to thank the ADL Southeast staff, who are consummate professionals and are really the ones who deserve our praise and awards like this for the tremendous work that they do. With Dr. Allison Padilla-Goodman at the helm, our region has fostered a number of important community relationships, has advanced the ADL's mission, has educated school-age children and law enforcement and others about the need to stand up to bias, hate, and discrimination and do everything that we can to advance the ADL's mission. It was a true honor to stand with Allison, with ADL counsel Dave Barkey, and with my Civil Rights Committee co-chair Scott Zucker and many others in helping get hate crimes legislation passed here in Georgia. It's an honor to work with them to try to get South Carolina to pass hate crimes legislation so that we can take the number of states without hate crimes laws all the way to zero. But our work is not finished, and there's much more to be done to continue to advance the ADL's mission to stop the defamation of the Jewish people and to secure justice and fair treatment to all. To that end, ADL is a national leader in efforts to deter and counter hate-motivated crimes. Those efforts have stretched back decades and involved many people before me. I am thrilled that I have been able to do just a very small part to help foster a just and inclusive society and help advance the ADL's mission. Hate crimes are criminal acts that are perpetrated because of a victim's actual or perceived race, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, disability, gender, or gender identity. These are what we refer to as immutable characteristics, things that someone cannot or should not have to change about themselves. And hate crimes target victims simply for who they are. And we as a society should recognize that crimes committed against a victim simply because of an immutable characteristic are just plain wrong. We need to recognize that those hate crimes strike a collective fear that can terrorize a victim's community as we unfortunately have seen recently related to the AAPI community here in Georgia. But I'm thrilled that Georgia has finally passed comprehensive hate crimes legislation and that prosecutors have an arrow in their quiver to put a message forward that Georgia will not tolerate such hate crimes. And I hope that South Carolina, Arkansas, and Wyoming quickly follow. But even leaving hate crimes aside, there's a whole lot of work to be done for the ADL and for so many other great organizations. And I hope, as an emerging leader, to have the opportunity to work with so many of you to advance the cause of civil rights and the mission of the ADL. So once again, I'm very, very honored and humbled to receive this Emerging Leader Award. Thank you.
Good afternoon. So good to be with each of you. I wish that we were together in person today, and I hope and expect that we'll be together, all of us, next year. It's my honor to introduce my good friend, Walter Jospin, as the recipient of this year's Anti-Defamation League's Elbert Tuttle Award. Walter is such a deserving recipient of this award, and I'm really thrilled to be introducing him. It's what you do with the time that you've been given in this life that determines really what you've done with your life. And when I think of Walter Jospin, I think of how he has chosen to spend that time that he's been given. This time that we've been given, the days, the weeks, the months, they turn into years and then suddenly into decades. And what Walter has done with those decades is really remarkable. Walter Jospin is a superstar in the law, the director of the Atlanta branch of the Securities and Exchange Commission, a partner at Paul Hastings for several decades, and now a partner at Finch McCraney. We all know he's a superstar at law and are so proud of him. But what makes Walter Jospin a superstar in the tradition of Judge Tuttle? Judge Tuttle, whose career, whose mission, whose passion had been to seek justice and fair treatment for all. Well, Walter has taken those raw talents that he has, those abilities that he has, and he has taken all of that and put it on the line to stand up and to fight for justice. Walter is so effective as a lawyer, as a leader, as a person, because with Walter, it's always about the cause. It's not about him, it's about the cause. Whether he was serving as the chair for the Community Relations Council at the Jewish Federation, that's the umbrella organization for the Federation, or serving as an adjunct professor at Emory's Law School, or when he had that vision, when he learned that there were Cypre funds that were sitting fallow, sitting unused in the coffers at the federal courthouse, and realized that those funds could be utilized to help others. And Walter helped to direct those funds so that they served as the basis for the creation of the Georgia Legal Services Foundation. And that means that more Georgians of need, in need, are served, so that those amongst us who don't have the funds to hire a lawyer all across the state might have better access to justice, justice for all, because of the foundation, because of the creation of the Georgia Legal Services Foundation. It was a brilliant vision, and it was a vision that was filled with heart and compassion and a concern for others. What could be better? What could be better than always thinking about others? Walters also served as the regional board chair for the Anti-Defamation League's Southeastern region. It's not just Atlanta, it's all of Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, and South Carolina. It's a lot of work, and he did it for 2 years. He also serves as a national commissioner for the Anti-Defamation League. All of that work to fight discrimination, to fight bigotry, to fight anti-Semitism. It's the good fight, and it's one that Walter dedicates himself to daily. When I think about the arc, the overall arc of Walter's adult life, I see that it's focused on ensuring that others are protected, that it's focused on fighting bigotry, that it's focused on fighting hate, that it's the use of one's own talents, one's own funds, one's own friendships, one's own abilities to fight that good fight, to fight for others, to use our law degrees to help to heal a world that needs healing, to help bridge those divisions that separate people, to help others in need, to be of service. It's really about being a mensch. Walter, I'm so proud to call you my friend. I can't think of Walter Jospin without also thinking about family. And we speak about our families so often. And in thinking about, to talk with Walter is also to talk about family. And his mom in Savannah, and his father of blessed memory, and his sister Deb, and his wonderful wife, the Honorable Wendy Shube, and his kids, Scotty and Alexandra, and his in-laws of blessed memory, the Honorable Marvin Shube and the wonderful Janice Shube. Family, caring for others, looking outside of oneself, using this law degree which has been conferred upon us, not as a right, but as an opportunity to serve, to help others, to utilize the law to create that which is good in our society, and to aim for that which we can do better, stronger in the service of others. It is ultimately what we do with our minutes, our hours, weeks, days, now decades, that sums up what we have made of our life. Walter, you have worked so hard to help others, to help our community, to utilize the law for good, for justice, for the good fight. And I'm so proud to introduce you today as the recipient of the Elbert Tuttle Award. Congratulations, Walter. If you could imagine that we were all today in that big ballroom, we would all be standing and applauding and just joined together in recognition of your wonderful work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lynn. That was so lovely, and it meant a lot to me, particularly because you and I have been friends for decades and decades. And I love being here in your lovely house, which really is like a museum with all this extraordinary art. This award is a big deal to me, and it really is one of the great honors of my life. So thank you, ADL. This award also is meaningful because Judge Tuttle was Marvin Shube's hero. When Marvin Shube was a young man, he rode the bus to work every morning, and he would often sit with Judge Tuttle. They would discuss the law and what it meant to be an effective, compassionate judge. Judge Tuttle mentored this young man and helped him become a successful lawyer and an extraordinary, compassionate, and effective judge. There are two people without whom I would not be here today. My grandmother, Lena, whom we called Nini, and my wife, Wendy Shube. Nini was born in Swainsboro in 1900 and moved to Savannah when she was a young girl. She was a charming, elegant, lovely woman, very sensitive. But she lost her son, my namesake, during World War II. He was 19 years old when he died. He didn't die in battle fighting Nazis. He died in a terrible car accident going back to his army base in Alabama. He died instantly. Lena went into a deep depression after Walter's death and was depressed almost all the time until the day she died in 1971. But that depression allowed her to have an amazing sense of empathy and a sensitivity to the unhappiness and of suffering of others, especially children. Nene would go out in the rain during the school year and get in her car and go to the local African-American elementary school. Now you see, the white kids, they had carpools to pick them up. The black kids didn't have that. They had to walk home in the rain. One of her neighbors asked her, "Lena, why are you doing this? It's just rain." And Lena would say, "It's not acceptable." Until the day she died, whenever it rained, she would get in her car and retrieve as many young kids as she could and took them home. Lena made me aware and sensitized me to the ravages of Jim Crow, even though she never called it Jim Crow. She hated discrimination. She made sure that I knew that it was my role to make things better in the world, especially as a Jew. If she were alive today, she would be disgusted and very depressed again with respect to the increase in violence and hate against people of color, the assaults on Asians, and the increased incidence of anti-Semitism. But I can tell you, she would act. If there were an election next week, she would go out and buy bottles of water and hand them out to all the voters waiting in line, the new law be damned. She wouldn't care. She would love the ADL and love what the ADL does. And she would also love my wife, Wendy Shube. Wendy has been my supporter, confidant, and advisor since before we were married. And she's also been an extraordinary mother to our children, our wonderful children, Alexandra and Scotty. Wendy, as a judge, would often assist gay and lesbian couples when they wanted to get married or adopt children, when many judges wouldn't want to handle those matters. In 1999, she ruled against the insurance commissioner of Georgia when he tried to stop the Atlanta domestic partner ordinance, which gave insurance rights to gays and lesbians. After the ruling, she was honored by the Stonewall Bar Association. At the dinner, she received a standing ovation. I was never more proud of anyone in my entire life. I accept this award with gratitude. I am honored, ADL, and thank you for giving it to me. And I accept it also on behalf of my grandmother, Nene, and Wendy Shube. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Jay Schwartz. I'm a senior partner at the Atlanta-based law firm of Smith, Gambrell & Russell. I'm honored to introduce and present the 2021 ADL Lifetime Achievement Award to my partner, Justice Leah Ward Sears. Justice Sears is being recognized for her lifetime devotion to the pursuit of justice and the well-being of our community. It is timely that Justice Sears is receiving this award just after being appointed chair of the Federal Nominations Advisory Committee for the state of Georgia, which is another example of her devotion to community and her achievements. With a distinguished legal career, Justice Sears has earned numerous accolades, including a number of firsts. Justice Sears was the first woman to serve as a Fulton County Superior Court judge. She was also the first woman and the youngest person to serve on the Georgia Supreme Court when appointed by Governor Zell Miller. She was the first Black woman to serve as Chief Justice on any state Supreme Court. And in retaining that position, Justice Sears also became the first woman to win a contested statewide election in Georgia. Justice Sears began her legal career in private practice, and after 5 years left to pursue public service as a judge with the City of Atlanta Municipal Court. She went on to serve as Fulton County Superior Court judge and was appointed to the Georgia Supreme Court in 1992. She spearheaded many innovative programs such as the Georgia Supreme Court's Commission on Children, Marriage, and Family Law, and was instrumental in the formation of the Committee on Civil Justice. She also served as past chair of the American Bar Association Board of Elections and the Judicial Section of the Atlanta Bar Association, and as chair of its Minority Clerkship Program. She is the founder and first president of the Georgia Association of Black Women Attorneys. She was twice on the president's short list for appointment to the United States Supreme Court. In 2009, after 27 years of service on the bench, including 4 years as Chief Justice, Justice Sears retired from the Georgia Supreme Court and returned to private practice, where she continues to serve through her various appointments in public work. Justice Sears continues to be involved in academia. She serves on the Board of Trustees of Emory University, the Carter Center, and the Georgia Historical Society. She's previously served on the Board of Visitors of Mercer University Law School and the Emory University Law School Council. She has taught as an adjunct professor at Emory Law School and the University of Georgia Law School. And in addition, she was an advisory board member of the Albany Law Review and the Honors Program at North Georgia College. Justice Sears is committed to the community at large. She is the founder of the Battered Woman Project in Columbus, Georgia. She also served on the board of directors of the Woodruff's Art Center, the Sadie G. Mays Nursing Home, and the Georgia chapter of the National Council of Christians and Jews. She continues to be involved with her sorority Alpha Kappa Alpha and serves on the ADL Honorary Board. Justice Sears was featured in the Atlanta History Center Any Great Change, the Centennial of the 19th Amendment in 2019. And in 2017, Seizing Serendipity, a biography of Justice Sears, was published. Justice Sears is a fellow of the prestigious American Academy of Appellate Lawyers and is also recognized on the list of Georgia super lawyers, the best lawyers in America, and as Lawyer of the Year and Law Dragon 500 Leading Lawyers in America. Justice Sears was born in Heidelberg, Germany, and spent her early years in Savannah, Georgia. She earned her bachelor's degree from Cornell University, her law degree from Emory University Law School, and a master's degree from the University of Virginia Law School in appellate judicial process. She holds honorary degrees from many universities. She is married to Haskell Sears Ward, and is the proud mother of son Addison and daughter Brennan. We are extremely proud of Justice Sears, her many accomplishments, and her continued service to our community. We are honored that she chose our law firm in 2016, where she is a member of the Litigation and Appellate Practices and also serves on our firm's executive committee. In addition to serving on all the boards and committees, Justice Sears still finds time to mentor and train both young and older attorneys in our firm. It is my privilege to present the 2021 ADL Lifetime Achievement Award to my partner, Justice Leah Ward Sears.
Good afternoon. I'm pleased to accept the Atlanta Anti-Defamation League's Lifetime Achievement Award. This is a great award from a great organization, and I thank you. Thank you also to my partner, Jay Schwartz, for his kind and gracious introduction. Jay welcomed me to Smith, Gambrell, and Russell 5 years ago, and I'm very happy there, and I'm glad that he's my partner. Thanks also to all of SGR's lawyers and staff who I've come to respect and admire for what they do and who they are and how they do the work that they do. SGR is one of the best law firms in the country, and I'm thrilled to be able to call the law firm my work home. Thanks also to Robin Sangstrom and Eric Barnum, the co-chairs of this event. And thank you also to Bernard Taylor, the chairperson of the Atlanta chapter of ADL. I've had the pleasure of practicing law with both Bernard and Eric at different times in my career. They are both excellent lawyers and good people. I have appreciated their friendship through the years. It's important that the justice system, including law firms, judges, in-house lawyers, and government lawyers, include a diverse array of human beings. Lawyers have been given great power and responsibility to help preserve the health of our democracy. Our various colors, races, national origins, genders, religions, and sexual orientations and gender identities are irrelevant to our worthiness to shoulder these burdens. In fact, this diversity allows us as a profession to understand and ably represent every combination of those constituencies. Hearing every voice makes us stronger as a nation. Lawyers provide services not only to our clients, but to our country. As such, the legal system depends on individual talent for its success. Old myths and stereotypes about who has the intellect and talent to do the kind of work done in the law is wrong and destructive. The legal system will not have a future if we can't, won't, or don't attract talented people, whatever their background. Diversity is also critical to the legitimacy of our justice system and the rule of law. If our justice system does not reflect the diversity of our community, the system will not have the credibility and respect that it needs to have among those who feel their views and circumstances are not being fairly represented. Diversity also leads to the creation of better problem-solving models. Without diversity, it becomes a real struggle to brainstorm new and innovative ideas and solve problems because everyone has the same mindset. And with the same mindset or worldview, people are less capable of bringing divergent perspectives, experiences, knowledge, or histories to the table. And for those who are less altruistic, diversity is vital to the bottom line in any business. The American population is becoming increasingly diverse, and the legal business is transcending our national borders. Businesses and organizations that appreciate and embrace diversity will be the best positioned to attract this diverse clientele and will thrive. A writer once said, "We do not choose when to be born or even if to be born. We do not choose our parents. We do not choose the era in which we are born or the country of our birth or the immediate circumstances of our upbringing. Most of us do not choose when we die, nor do we choose the time of our death or the conditions thereof. That just doesn't happen. What we decide to do or refuse to do is what makes us significant or what makes us forgettable. But no matter how indifferent the universe may be to our choices and decisions, these choices and decisions are ours alone to make. And I'm pleased as a result of that. It is for this reason it seems that perhaps I have made some good decisions in my life, and the ADL perhaps is recognizing this. And so I am proud that you have chosen me to honor for my life's work. Maybe this means, as I said, that perhaps I made some good choices. If so, I've done so with the love and support of many of you here today. And I am grateful to you all. Thank you again. I appreciate you and I appreciate the Anti-Defamation League.
Okay. Am I on? Great, thank you. Technical difficulties in the Zoom world. So let's just all do what we would normally be doing if we were in person, and give everybody a round of applause to our incredible honorees and the body of work that they've contributed to doing so many wonderful things, including the mission of the ADL, is really remarkable, and I'm just so proud that we were able to honor them today here, albeit virtually. So we're moving forward to our moderated panel discussion with our honorees, and I'm afraid that Judge Bensonetta Lane was not able to be with us today to do the moderating, so I will be substituting here. I'm very honored to take her place in this discussion with these incredible people. And I'm getting some instructions to turn my sound down, which I'm doing. Hopefully that's better. So we wanted to have a conversation with our honorees about advocacy and action, starting, leading, leaving a legacy. And one of the things I love about this luncheon is that not only do we get to honor such incredible champions for diversity and inclusion and equity and the mission of ADL, but we also get to hopefully inspire those of us in the audience to continue to double down on what we're already doing, or to put a passion for starting to do something that we haven't been doing in the fight against hate and for racial justice and social equity. So I would like to start with Walter. And you spoke very eloquently about the importance of your grandmother and your wife and your family and your journey. But what are some of the formative experiences and people that shaped your ideas about justice?
Thank you, Robin. Besides my grandmother, I guess there are really two. One is going up east to college from Savannah in the early 70s, and two is my job in meeting people at the law firm of Kilpatrick and Cody. Going up east was sort of a magical experience for me, and to give some context to it, let's just say I had a narrow life in Savannah the first 18
I'm not hearing Walter.
years. Sorry, do you hear me okay? Yes, you okay. It was a narrow life. I really didn't go anywhere. I went to North Carolina to camp, went to Alabama every year for the Alabama-Auburn football game. Sorry, Scott. And we would go to the beach every summer. Besides that,
Waiting for some guidance from our wonderful tech team.
Exactly. Never went.
I'm not hearing Walter.
Walter, I can hear you. I don't know if the others can.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hear me, Scott? You okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, anyway, it was a very narrow life. I read the Savannah Morning News, Life magazine, Time magazine, really didn't know much of the world, hadn't experienced anything, didn't really work hard in school, had a good time with my buddies. I did sports. So going up east in the early was an extraordinary experience. It really opened my eyes up to the world, and it was sort of magical. It was not really magical in terms of having a good time. It was magical in terms of ideas and books and being exposed to the issues of the day, which really were the women's movement, liberation, the war in Vietnam. We would march in Washington, actually marched in New York with John Lennon and Yoko Ono and Bella Abzug, and just extraordinary experiences and learning a lot about the social justice issues of the day. I even developed a really nice relationship with a young man who just happened to be African American, and I would go visit him in his W.E.B. Du Bois dormitory. That's a long way from my lily white Savannah existence. It expanded my world. So that's sort of the first bucket. The second bucket is working at the law firm of Kilpatrick and Cody where the day I started, Joe Beck walked in the door and said, "We need you to sign up for Saturday Lawyer with Legal Aid Society once a quarter. Let me know the dates." And he left. He didn't ask me, was I available? Is that convenient? I was working round the clock, but I had to do the legal aid work. That was an aspect of the job we all did there. And then I learned that the law firm really had a lot of lawyers involved in the social causes. That was part of the culture. And when I started to represent legal aid clients, I really loved it. And that really got me started in the various organizations that I ultimately got involved in. And I would observe the successful attorneys in the firm: Miles Alexander, Steve Clay, Devereaux McClatchy, Louis Regenstein, also some of the ex-lawyers, the former lawyers like Emmett Bondurant and Lawrence Ash. These were extraordinarily successful lawyers who were having an impact on the city. And I said to myself, I think it was sort of intuitive, I want to model my legal career on them. I recall once in a legal aid meeting, I was asked to be on the legal aid board, and the chair was John Chandler. And he was leading a meeting, and I was observing how he did it, because I'd never seen anybody lead a meeting the way he did. And there was a difficult board member, and John really dealt with that board member in a very smooth way. And so I've been able to lead many boards, and whenever I have a difficult board member, I think, what would John Chandler do? How would he handle it? So thank you, John, for that tutorial. And so just to conclude these experiences, and what really got me involved is that there's an ancillary effect. And this is really directed to all the young lawyers, is that these organizations really expanded my world and allowed me to make a lot of good friends whom I would not have otherwise met. And it made my life much richer. So I'm grateful for those experiences.
Thank you so much, Walter. Everyone, Robin Sangston was having some technical difficulties, so I've stepped in for her for a few moments. Anna Maria, you work a lot with younger lawyers and getting them set up and working, and a lot of the work that you've done. How are the challenges and opportunities that young lawyers face today different than those that you encountered at the start of your career?
Well, I think that young lawyers right now are blessed by the amount of information that they have access to. That's definitely from when I started. Everything from the internet to just how open people seem to be nowadays with the facing. It's both a blessing and a curse. I think one of the biggest challenges as a young lawyer, and even as a is focusing your efforts. The truth is, as much as we change the world, there's not only 24 hours in a day, and we are better serving our community when we find the things that really drive us, that really spark joy in us. And when we focus our efforts in that, we can make a real difference. So one of the challenges, I think, is finding that spark of joy, is finding what really drives you to make a difference. And with so much information and with so much need for change, it's hard sometimes. So I really would encourage young lawyers to not just focus on the daily pressures, the work, what people think they should do, but to really focus on what drives them, to really focus on their likes, their interests, the things that make a difference in their lives. There's a space for all of us to make a difference. And if every one of us finds what makes us this joy, we're gonna make the biggest thing, as opposed to spreading ourselves too thin.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Scott, turning to you. How can we instill a commitment to service to issues like ADL tackles on a daily basis among the next generation of leaders, of lawyers?
Thank you, Alicia. That's a great question. I think as an initial matter, we need to start early. We need to encourage school-age children to participate in educational programs like the No Place for Hate program that the ADL puts together. And through that, kind of instill in young folks a commitment to service, because I think if it's something that's learned and something that we get positive experiences with early on in life, it's something that individuals will continue. So it's up to us to teach youth. It's up to parents to teach their kids that we need to fight hate for good, and we need to do things to bolster up the community. And as Anna Maria eloquently put it, find what really is something that drives you and do your best to advance them. I think we should continue that education in higher education and in law school, encourage service projects, encourage students to get involved in many of the great organizations. Perhaps law schools give credit for externships with nonprofits and otherwise find ways to incentivize the service. And then when we get into the actual legal career, do the same thing, because a law degree is a very powerful thing. We need to instill on young lawyers that using the degree for good is good, that it's not all about chasing dollar signs, but it's also about doing things to use that degree to help advance community. And there's so many fantastic organizations. Of course, for me, ADL is at the very top of that pyramid, but there's so many things that we can do with our law degree to do good for society. And then, it's up to us as the community to elevate people who are doing well and to encourage people to do things like pro bono work, doing things for community organizations, encourage our lawyers and our firms to take time to do things like community involvement, because it's, personally fulfilling and it's the right thing to do for society. And because I told my son I would do this, I'll steal a quote from Spider-Man, that with great power comes great responsibility. And I think we should all commit to taking on that responsibility, and everybody should get involved in any way that they can, even if it's just a little bit. It can go very, very long.
That's great, absolutely. And Attorney Justice Sears, you have had such an esteemed career. What does a legacy of advocacy mean to you?
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you very much for asking it, Alicia. It's interesting. For me, it means finding something. Advocacy is a complicated word, but with a very simple meaning. It's finding something that you're passionate about, something that's missing. Looking at racism or disease or poverty or bigotry or the environment, or finding something that's missing. And then doing what I did, I was born in 1955. The minute I was born, I knew that sexism was big, racism was big, and if I wanted to use the talents that God gave me, I was going to have to do something about that. So I made my whole life, much of my life, about tearing down the walls of racism and sexism. And that's what I think other people should do when they find something that's missing, making it your life's work to do something about it. One person can make a lot of difference. I know we're up against your time, so I'll just leave it there.
Well, actually, I'm going to push it. One more. We have a quick follow-up question I would love to hear. Has your idea of legacy of advocacy changed over time?
No, not really. I've always been an advocate for pretty much the same thing. It's just that I have changed over time. I've gone from a girl to an extremely mature woman now, 65 years old. And I'm not I don't have the fear that I used to have of speaking out, speaking out with dignity and all that sort of thing. But as time gets shorter and you see things not changing, I want to see things change things that matter to me change before I die. So the things have become more urgent to me. So I am not afraid to speak about them, show people blind spots, blind spots even in myself. You know, I'm not perfect either. So I think I've just gotten, the passion hasn't waned. I've just been more willing to speak openly about things that I think sometimes many people don't really want to talk about.
That's fantastic. Well, I know we would love to have further discussion with you, but unfortunately we've run out of time for today's program. Thank you to each of our honorees for sharing your thoughts, your ideas, your experiences. We truly appreciate it.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We hope you all walk away today not only inspired by the exceptional work of our honorees, but with a dedication to get more involved with ADL. A few reminders of upcoming events. We hope you save the date for ADL's Supreme Court review this summer on Thursday, July 8th. Held in partnership with the National Constitution Center each year, renowned legal scholars discuss the Supreme Court's recent decisions and preview Supreme Court activity for the coming year. The annual virtual conference event is simulcast across the country and in law firms across the Southeast, providing CLE credit to attendees. Contact ADL staff if your firm would like to host a viewing. Taking place November 7th through 11th this year, Never Is Now is ADL's annual summit on anti-Semitism and hate. This virtual multi-day conference focuses on understanding the contemporary drivers and dynamics of anti-Semitism. The Edward Brodsky CLE track provides an opportunity to earn CLE credits while hearing from experts on hate crimes legislation and online hate and harassment. Contact local ADL staff to find out how you can help ADL in fighting hate for good.
Thank you to our honorees for the tremendously important work and service you bring to the Atlanta community each day. And thanks again to our generous sponsors and to all of you who took time out of your busy day to join us. We appreciate your support and hope that you will stay engaged with the work of the ADL. A recording of this webinar will also be available on demand on the ADL Southeast website. The work of ADL, responding to hate incidents, building spaces and communities that stand up to bias, speaking out against bigotry, continues during this crisis. Please follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for joining us and have a great afternoon. We look forward to hopefully seeing you in person next year.